Hi guys. So the microphones came in, so hopefully the audio sounds better now. And I just wanted to celebrate this by talking about the experience I had after my rebirthing method yesterday, where I believe that I naturally released DMT. Now I've never tried DMT, but from what I've heard, because I have listened to a lot of trip reports and experiences such as ayahuasca, experiences as well, people smoking it, the vape pens, all that stuff. I think that I had a light scrape with it. And I want to share that experience. So what happened is I went to my Leonard's rebirthing method yesterday and, the hot bath, all that stuff. And in that I started to do breath work and I started to do more of like breath of fire things because I came across a man called the Certified Health Nut and he had very strong breathing techniques that were meant to stimulate kundalini or chi or different things like that, but really you're oxygenating your body very, very fast, as well as cleansing out the body by taking out all the stale air that you have. And doing this in very hot water was intense. It was very strong. At certain points, my body started to convulse, and I think that's the right word. My hands became like this. They got very, very tense like this, and I couldn't really move my thumb. And I started to see an image of what looked like a ball and then three lines, and it was black and white. But I could tell there was like depth to it. It wasn't very clear, plus I was in the dark. But this image got very strong to the point where I opened my eyes. Well, I could feel myself physically open my eyes, but the image didn't change at all. And that's when I knew something was up. And I kept doing the breathing, and it got very, very, very intense. And I was kind of scared, not gonna lie, because I was in the dark, very hot water, and by myself. So I decided to move the rest of the ritual to my room. Well, when I stood up, that's when I saw that same ball again that I saw in the video where I talk about where I drowned myself essentially in the rebirthing method thing. And it reminded me of the blue circles I was seeing when I was surrendering to God. And even it was like the shape of the blue circle, but in that video I also talk about how it curves. And the circle this time had like a hole in it, but also like a little outline that was the same as that curve that I was seeing. So I still don't know what this thing is, but it's the second time it's come, and it doesn't show up every single time I do the rebirthing method, but it does it during very intense experiences. So I moved to my room, right? And as I'm laying down, I decide to do what's on the course called the breath of ecstasy, which is where you breathe in a very particular way and you breathe very strongly and you intake tons of oxygen. It feels very good, very revitalizing. It's a very loving thing. And while doing this, I just kept experiencing stronger and stronger and stronger sensations. And as I talked about my hands being like this, well, my feet and my legs then started to get very tense. But at first, I could tell it was like muscles tensing. But then it got to a more energetic spiritual side where I could feel like tubes running down my arm and into my fingers. And what it seemed like was energy was rolling through these. And now I had to figure out how to position myself to let the energy flow freely because they've been gunked up for so long that they're still not 100% clear. And so as I was laying there, I was relaxing and laying my arms flat. I was like up to the side. Woo! Pardon me. And to my sides as well. And while I'm doing this, it suddenly becomes easier to move my hands, and I do the same with my legs. And it was very fine points where I would be able to move it freely until it started to convulse again once I moved somewhere else. But that was very cool. I'd never experienced anything like that. But during one of the breathing processes, I kept doing it harder and harder and harder until this insane ringing static sound just overcame all of my hearing, and this like glowing outline of a like man came up, and no hair but no face either, and he was glowing, but then inside it had like smaller outlines of this being coming towards me, but it had like a light in the middle. It like the outlines didn't go on forever. It probably had maybe like 4 or 3, and then the middle part was just like this radiating light, and it was just so loving, and it had its hands out like this, and it was just there, and I knew I was here, but I was also there wherever there was, and it was just me and that thing, and I didn't have a body in this experience. I was just like awareness, just aware that I was seeing this thing and feeling this thing that loved me so much. And then it just slowly went away, and the noise died down, and suddenly like the noises of my room and the outside world overcame the noise of whatever the heck was happening, and it slowly dwindled away. And I eventually came back here and relaxed and took a little nap on the floor. And yeah, I think I naturally released DMT. I don't know if I'm gonna try it again today. I feel like I should, just to keep it going, just to keep these intense experiences happening. But we'll see. So yeah, appreciate you guys watching. Peace. Enjoy.